The Beat of the Bronx, a Yankee podcast with Russ Lichty. Today's episode is brought to you by Your Bronx Dentist. Come meet Dr. Ebby and his team at two convenient locations in the Norwood and Throgs Neck sections of the Bronx. Schedule your next appointment at yourbronxdentist.com. And now, here's Russ.
How's it going, guys? Episode 24. The Yankees coming off the big series win against the San Diego Padres after those back-to-back in division series losses. Been a few series we didn't hop on after the Tampa Bay series. Had a busy week. We had Emma's communion, and figured there'd be more to talk about this upcoming series, and which there is. So, Yankees are now 21-16, 5-5 in their last 10. They're on a two-game win streak here now. They lead the American League and American League East, and they also lead the American League with 206 runs scored. That's plus 19 runs on the Detroit Tigers, who are, the second runner-up run scored. So, if you take away that that first series against the Milwaukee Brewers, little different, but hey, it happened. This is where we're at, and those runs will count. It was early in the season; it'll definitely count toward the the end of the season. But this was a big series win for the Yankees, and Max Fried doing his thing again, and JC Escarra with the walk off in the 10th inning there for the first walk-off of the season for the Yanks. And, as you guys saw, the San Diego Padres are a really, really good ball club. Lucky, as tough as our division is, we don't have to play in the NL West. We've seen, we know what the Dodgers are. We've seen Arizona early on. And now we're going out west, our own, coming up against, the two pretty good teams themselves, the Athletics over in Sacramento, and then into Seattle, who's really, really doing, a nice job this young part of the season. But let's get into the, the injury news and notes as of today, which is Thursday, May 8th. But there's a few things now. Well, it's an off day for the Yankees today. So maybe later on today, maybe tomorrow, we'll hear about DJ LeMahieu. There's a chance that DJ could, possibly be joining the team out west. But over his first 7 rehab games, I saw this on X on Max Goodman's account, and you've been seeing Somerset has been sharing some of the highlights. DJ has looked pretty good. You've seen him play some second, some third base, but in 7 rehab games, he's batting .474, 9 for 19, and really. Looking like he's ready to go. And, the Yankees are going to see, I don't know how much DJ got, left to offer here, because, we could use that right-handed complement, not a platoon, but a complement type bat. And with Jazz being hurt now, with that oblique strain, with the 3 different tears, we could use, a little bit of help at second. We've seen Vivas a little bit. Pablo Reyes, we could use some help there at second. And DJ, if healthy, we know what he can do. Maybe some, he can dig deep down and give some. So we'll see what he has left, but something of what we used to see. And, I'm sure he'll, they're going to try to, keep him healthy, keep him ready to go. Booney was on Talking Yanks talking about how, it was very on his regular weekly spot. He was talking about how, it's very important for DJ to get back to the big leagues and get back to where he was. And, we're almost there. So it could be tomorrow in Sacramento. We didn't find out nothing yet. We could hear about it soon. It's, 10:17 a.m. on Thursday, May 8th, like we said, as we record this. So we'll find out, sooner or later, possibly back this weekend. Jonathan Loizaga is working his way back. So, some much needed firepower to the Yankees bullpen, that, high velo guys that we're, kind of lacking here. Now he's coming back from UCL surgery. Loizaga had 2 innings last night with the Rail Riders. He struck out 2, allowed 1 hit, and actually picked off the runner at first. Now, the sinker was averaging 95 miles an hour, his four seam in 96. And Booney was talking about how um, they're looking to get him built up to that back-to-back appearances, and the plan is to get him built up to that by May 17th and 18th. So later this month we'll go. We'll see. Where Lowe is at. Could be back. The end of this month, early June, and seems like he's trending in the right direction. Clayton Beater, also the hard-thrown right-hander, is also continuing his rehab. He's down there with them, as well, with Scranton. So we could probably, see him at some point, end of this month, early June, maybe. He could be added to the mix. Booney also discussed JT Brubaker, saying that his rehab is in the beginning processes. So that's, that will get going there. Jazz Chisholm had the right oblique strain, the tears in 3 different spots. His expected return is possibly June. It's about 4 to 6 weeks. Jazz said he was actually, surprised of the severity of it, because, I guess the way it feels. And they said he's, usually a fast healer, but oblique strain with 3 different, tears in 3 different spots, 4 to 6 weeks. But lucky, DJ LeMahieu is going to be coming back. Vivas has been filling in. Pablo Reyes, like we said, at second. But very interested to see what DJ, can bring here. But, quick and speedy recovery to Jazz Chisholm, too. He was struggling, right as he was getting hurt. The strikeouts were at a really high, alarming rate. But, maybe the rest and recuperation can help him. But oblique is usually usually an injury that could linger and takes a while. And just in the young career so far with Jazz, it just does seem like he does kind of deal with the injury bug a little bit. But quick and speedy recovery to Jazz Chisholm. Giancarlo, we've seen some videos of him actually facing Jake Cousins in live BP. A possible late May, early June return for Giancarlo Stanton, maybe. He's been with the Yankees, here, this past homestand in New York. He's been continuing to hit off the high velocity machine, that traject machine. You saw him taking some live BP. He was, running in the outfield in one of those rainy nights there. But Giancarlo seems just like they're getting him ready to go, and could be, end of this month, early June. We'll see. Only time will tell. And the Tampa series, Jake Cousins also is working his way back. He threw approximately 15 pitches in that live batting practice. Cousins said that he's aiming for a big league return early to mid-June. He was transferred to the 60-day injured list on March 27th, and he's eligible to come back the end of this month, May 26th. So that's another arm. A lot of different bullpen arms working their way back. So this Yankee bullpen, by the time the summer comes around, could look very, very different. And Garrett Cole spoke with the media on Sunday afternoon in the clubhouse. He's continuing to improve following Tommy John surgery, and he said he hopes to resume playing catch in August. He said he still pitches mentally every night before bed, and he goes, "I haven't given up any hits." So, Garrett, probably chomping at the bit to come back with his, his competitive nature the way he is. But, also get well soon, Garrett. And, hopefully we see more of him, around the team as the season progresses. It was nice to see him, around the club and in good spirits, definitely. And you see the video on Instagram. I saw it Instagram, Twitter of him playing wiffle ball with his kids, and the first thing I laugh at is you see him throwing with his left hand. Just so just Garrett, always just trying to preserve himself, but still being dad, and really looking forward to get Garrett back. I mean, Max Fried has really let's been I want to say exceeding expectations. Really, I mean the team's been 8-0. They've won every start. His ERA was raised to 1.05 after the home run to Jackson Merrill, who, like we said, is a hell of a ball player. That lefty hit and into the Yankee lefty homer into the Yankee bullpen. But Max Fried has been phenomenal, and you can see it's really rubbing off on Carlos Rodon. Rodon has been magnificent, as also his last four starts, ERA under 1. I mean, the strikeouts. Um, just one thing concerning Clark came around his last start, pitching into the 6th. You can see, we really need Clark to, step it up. We asked for him to step it up, and the last start he definitely did. We just want to see some more consistency of that because, this past week the Yankees designated Carlos Cookie Carrasco for assignment. They really don't need the 5 starting pitches this month with all the off days, with the travel days and the off days on Thursdays. But he could, will he get scooped up? Will he, come back around, to the Yankees? We'll find out. But what the real concerning thing here is that they need to be able to build some kind of consistency to preserve the bullpen a little bit, because there's been, as good as the bullpen has been, they've had, as a whole, they've had their struggles. Devin Williams has had his struggles. Last night he was magnificent getting out of that jam, but let's be real, all the most of the guys in the bullpens have had their struggles, starting to hit that point because the usage been up. I mean, even Luke Weaver, you've seen him starting to get a little shaky here, giving up runs, not, inherited runs, but still giving up runs and getting hit around, getting hit hard here and there. And if you look at it, the bullpen, other than Fernando Cruz, Ian Hamilton, Tim Hill, Mark Leiter, we mentioned Devin Williams. These guys, they've given up runs in their last outings. Could be 1 run, 2 runs, some cases 3 runs, but they're giving up runs in these outings, and they've been, for weeks, nice chunk of games in a row where they've been, lights out, but using them every night. If the starting pitcher, a kid like Will Warren, who we know got the stuff, but if he's only throwing the stuff for 2-3 innings, what good is it as a starting pitcher? I mean, we know the sweep is good, the fastball is good, but he can't get lefties out, and he hasn't been showing the ability to get lefties out at a consistent rate. Now, sometimes it could sound, that we're being a little harsh on some of the players, but this is the big leagues. They got to be pristine and precise and be able to get the job done. That's why me and you aren't out there on the mound. It's not everyone, not everyone has the ability and the skill to be able to do that on the mound. And, we know he has the ability to do it. It's getting to a point now where at a consistent rate, he's showing us that he's not doing it, even though we know that he can do it. And he showed us that he can do it. He's showing us that he's not doing it. So something has to be done. Now, they did do, something about it. They stacked his Will Warren's last start was stacked with Cookie, and instead of sending Will Warren down, they DFA'd Cookie. So Will Warren still has. It's all part of the roster juggle, the numbers game, but Will Warren still has that option, so they're saving him, throughout the month. And unfortunately now it's he's coming off back-to-back bad starts, and he's going out to Oakland. He's going to start the first game of the road trip in the minor league ballpark over there, and against a pitcher who has similar struggles to Will Warren, sort of. That's Osvaldo Bido, similar type of situation, and Oakland. We'll mention later, but I was going to mention later, but I'll mention it now. They're 7-11 at home. They're actually better on the road than they are at home. And minor league ballpark, Sacramento, the ball fly. So we'll see what this weekend brings. But with Will Warren, just want to see some kind of consistency. I mean, how much longer is he gonna stick around? With the team, we've seen spurts here and there, but the last two starts, my opinion, non-competitive. Like we saw against Tampa, couldn't get a lefty out. I think it was like 7 or 8 hits on 2 strikes. It was just real bad performance, and you see spurts for Will. It's 2, 3 innings, but you got to show some more. Like we were asking Clark Schmidt to show some more in the last start, he did. I mean, guys, you don't have to worry about Max Fried, Carlos Rodon. They've been, doing their thing. I love how they mixed, Clark in there, that top three, whether you want to say Rodon's the ace, Fried's been pitching like the ace, but Rodon's technically the one. Then you have Schmidt in the 2, Fried in the 3. It's a great combo. I love how they have that lefty righty lefty mix, but someone else has to step up here. You can't just have 3 guys. You need 5, sometimes 6, sometimes 7. And the Yankees, that depth for pitching, just starting pitching, isn't there right now, and we're starting to see, as good as the bullpen's been as a whole. Forget about Devin Williams' struggles. That's a different from what I'm trying to, get at with the rest of the bullpen. That's a different story at the back end. But all the middle relief guys, they've been, so consistent. But now, the past outings, they're starting to give up runs. So, and you can see, just the overusage. It's only, early May. You can't look at the Mets. The Mets have, dealing with same issue as this, and it's pretty bad. It's the losses that you get, from blown games, and fortunately for the Yankees, believe it or not, I mean, it's not really fortunate, but for bullpen wise, there was that one, off the top of my head, I remember that one game early against Arizona, Mark Leiter Jr. with that home run to Eugenio, but the rest of the blown games have pretty much been from Devin Williams, and he was I don't want to say lights out because he had his he got the bases loaded there with the Manfred runner, the ghost inherited runner, but really, starting to listen to Boone's post games and starting to agree with him a little bit with Williams, how he's starting to turn the corner, but definitely got to show us more. And, a little concerning about Weaver. Would like to see Weave come out, really come out shooting the next outing with a, seamless, and just Fernando Cruz leads all relievers with strikeouts. He's been amazing. And you're seeing with these injuries, the injuries add up now. Aaron, just trying. It's not just us. Most teams, guys are getting hurt, but it just seems as guys are starting to come back, it's always someone goes down. So, like DJ's coming back, Loizaga, Stanton's working his way back, but DJ, all of a sudden it like works its way out. And like, where is he going to play when he comes back? Oswaldo has been playing a nice third base. So, and, it kind of works its way out here. So, he'll come back, and we haven't really seen him play, second base in a while, but it looks and seems like we're going to be seeing that. So, we can use the right-handed bat, DJ coming back here, putting some pop at the bottom of the order, and definitely could use it. You see Austin Wells starting to come around. He had the big seventh inning the other night, the 10-run seventh, historic inning. He was the first Yankee to do that since Alex Rodriguez with the five RBIs. Unbelievable. Grand slam and the double of that inning. And, Ben Rice is showing his consistent, ability at the plate. Going to be interesting, when guys like Giancarlo come back, what are they going to do? I mean, Escara gives his big league at bats. It was very nice to see him with the walk-off last night. Judge playing on another planet. We don't even have to talk about Judge. It's what Judge is doing is otherworldly. I mean, the batting average, and what is it, 427 now, exactly what it is. what does it matter? I mean, he can go 0 for his next 40 and still be, close to batting over 300. It's just magnificent. I mean, he had the error yesterday, but he's been, great in the field. All in all, um, you know, I don't even want to say carrying the team because guys like Grisham are doing that thing also. He had the pitch in home, and it was, very interesting. The other night they left Dominguez. They left Dominguez in, and when Grisham came in, tied it. But it was nice to see Booney give a little confidence there. To I questioned it a little bit, but it was nice to see him, give some confidence to Dominguez because it's not. I think it's not a good thing to keep, pulling him out of games like that, and it's going to be a tough month here. So long stretch with the two West Coast trips. They got the Subway Series, a lot of travel, going to the Athletics. Going to take time getting used to not calling them Oakland, even though they're playing in Sacramento. They're the Athletics, and like we said, they're 7-11 at home. Second in the AL West right now. They've been playing, pretty decent baseball. Jacob Wilson, shortstop, son of Jack Wilson, really hitting. Doesn't walk much, but he's really, really hitting. You're gonna see guys, Tyler Soderstrom has been popping some home runs, long balls, really breaking out this season. See old pals, Gio Urshela and Miguel Andujar this series. Luis Severino, he'll be pitching on Sunday. Old friend old Yankee farmhand JP Sears will be pitching the second game, and tomorrow we have Will Warren versus Osvaldo Bido, and like we said, Bido has some nice stuff, but he's had his struggles similar to Will Warren. That game's going to be Yes Network tomorrow night, 10 o'clock start on the West Coast. Saturday and Sunday are 4 p.m. Eastern games. We're going to see Carlos Rodon versus JP Sears on Saturday, the lefty-lefty matchup. And on Sunday, the Yankees have, TBD versus Luis Severino. Could it be Ryan Yarbrough? We saw him start for Clark Schmidt when they pushed Clark Schmidt start back, and Yarby was pretty good. The 4 innings we saw, could we see some bulk like that? Could they send someone down? They recently called up Yeri De Los Santos. Could they send someone down for Alan Winans? I know he was set to pitch yesterday for. I should have looked how he did, but I know he was set to pitch yesterday for Scranton, one of their games. So he lines up, for 5. I don't think he would line up for Sunday if he pitched yesterday. Probably not. So we might be seeing. He was just the name that was mentioned from Booney of Alan Winans and Yarbrough were names that were mentioned to take the place of Cookie Carrasco. But this, like we were saying earlier, this month they only need 4 starting pitches right now. For this month with the off days. So we'll see. Yankees taking on the Athletics in Sacramento. That just like Tampa Bay Rays playing at George M. Steinbrenner Field. The Athletics are playing at the Sacramento Fisher Cats stadium, and minor league stadium. You'll see the ball's been really flying there, and believe it or not, they've been better on the road than they've been at home. And then after this series, taking on the as of right now red hot Seattle Mariners in first place, that AL West, and Yankees split the last homestand. If they can, split this road trip, take some of the series. Ideally, you want them to take the series, but worst case scenario, just split the road trip. It's going to be a little grueling month here, so hopefully get some length out of the starting pitches. We always ask for length out of the starting pitches, but they could really use it. The off days this month can help, but you're seeing the bullpen kind of dwindle now. I mean, Devin Williams is on the trajectory on his way up. I think still has some to work on, but starting the trajectory is on its way up. And want to see some of the other guys, like we need Mark Leiter Jr. You know, come out as next outing. Ian Hamilton come out their next outing and come out looking good. And these are guys that have been consistent up until this point, but because of the usage starting to hit their patches here and there. But it's May 8th, Yankees are in first. So many, they're in what was it, 60, 61 or 62 home runs leading Major League Baseball. There was a lot of damage that first series against Milwaukee, but if you take that away, they're still doing pretty darn good. Should be a fun series, the West Coast series, so get ready for the late games there. But buckle up, May. We're getting, the weather's starting to warm up. Teams starting to pick it up here, getting into the thick of it. So enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Enjoy the series versus the Athletics. We'll talk, and God bless. And as always, go Yankees. I'll talk to you guys.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Beat of the Bronx, a Yankee podcast. You can follow Russ on all social media platforms using the handle @NYYankeeDad. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube.